All right. So, hi everybody. For everybody who's come in today on this wonderful day on the 19th of 19th of September. I'm going ahead. We've got a very interesting guest. Today's our 19th episode. Also, today's the 19th.
Today's the 16th, Shaker. Come on.
See, I'm so futuristic. I'm so enthused by the company I have that I'm thinking ahead already. So today's the 16th of September, and today's the 19th episode. And for everybody who's listening in, this 19 episodes has been quite a journey. We have had people from all walks of life. We had philosophers, we had scientists, we had radio jockeys, we had yoga artists, we had you name it, we had them. We have technocrats, bureaucrats, we had leadership coaches, and today we have got somebody who's very special. Today we've got Anvita, who's going to tell us a lot about what she does, because she does a lot. I know that she has a business. She does illustrations. She's also represented India in the World Roller Games in Barcelona in 2019. So she's traveled around a bit. And I've also got my compatriot, my partner in arms, Samira Fernandez, who's right here with me. Samira has been with us on this journey, and it's been interesting so far on the S Factor talk show. So that's a bit about what the talk show is about. Now, this talk show is very freewheeling, very spontaneous, very off the cuff. And and for everybody who's listening in, you will get to know a little bit more about what Anvita is in the next 45 minutes to 1 hour. That's the intent of the show. We've also got all kinds of people listening in. This is being streamed as we talk in 40 countries across the world. We've got animals of all shapes and size listening in, and the proof is right here. So we're not lying, and so that's how it's going to be. And Samira, over to you.
Well, once again, good evening and welcome to the S Factor Talk Show. And I have with me my co-host, Shaker Vijayan. I believe he needs no introduction at all. As you all know, he is, quite a known personality, right from international film and entertainment. He is an international entertainer. He's also an author, writing another book in the making. Well, he loves the thrill of life. He's hosted a lot of shows locally and internationally with 1,000+ events, right from sports activities to corporate gigs and carnivals and birthday parties, and interviewed celebrities all around the world. He's also a comedian, an entertainer, but a motivational speaker. And he goes all out to change and make our society beautiful. So, Shekhar, it's really lovely co-hosting this show with you. And I'm so glad that we have Anvita here, because I think, Anvita, you're really an inspiration to all of us. And I've been going through your profile, really interesting, because I believe you also are an educationist. You're looking at students in terms of their career, their education, classes. You're in the field of hockey, and many other areas. So let's start this first question by asking you, Anvita. If we had to give you 30 seconds for you to introduce yourself in an elevator to Bill.
Samira and Shekhar, how would you introduce yourself?
Yeah, and Samira Shekhar and maybe Bill Gates along with us.
Yeah, Bill Gates, yeah.
What
And
would you
in
say?
Sunshine.
Sorry?
So Samira, Shekhar, Sunshine, and Bill Gates.
What would you tell us in 30 seconds only? Your time starts now.
Okay, so I'm an inline hockey player. I've played for India. Along with that, I'm also a dancer. I'm currently in my second year of college at Christ University, planning to do an MBA later and taking up my dad's footsteps into doing event management. I used to go to an NGO every Sunday to teach kids English and also like personality development skills. Along with that, I have done a fundraiser for about 25,000 during this lockdown to help migrants during the COVID period. And the small business that I started is about digital illustration. So basically, you send me a picture of yourself and I make the digital illustration and print it out in frames and phone covers and stuff like that. I'm currently doing 2 internships. One is a marketing campaign internship with this company called Viral Vision. And I'm a content creator for another company called Under 25, where I make fashion and dance related videos.
Very cool.
That's what
She's got the best profile of amongst all the people we've spoken so far. And we're talking about CEOs and CXOs and leadership coaches also.
Super amazing. Super amazing. Shekhar, go ahead with your next question, because I think we both have lots to ask, Anvita.
Of course. So Anvita, tell me this. So you've been doing what you're doing, and I know the kind of discipline it takes to excel in the field you are in. What does it really take? Is it just dedication? Is it just passion? Is it that X factor? Was it like what's it all about? I know you started quite early. I've seen you at various places also, along with your father, who's been extremely supportive. We'll also get him at a later point of time on the show to reveal all the secrets about you. But on a more serious note, what is that X factor for you, or what is that success factor, or the S factor for you, which allows you to do what you do, the scorpion that you are, in terms of just going for the kill, in terms of winning at all costs, because you thrive, right? You thrive in winning. And how did you get into what you're doing right now in terms of doing so many multiple things and being the master of it?
Okay, so of course, all the things that you just said is obviously important, but I think along with discipline, motivation, and passion, you need curiosity, because if you're not curious enough, then it's like, why are you even doing that, right? So I think it's mostly because I'm curious about how this particular field would be, because inline hockey is such an unheard sport of.
Absolutely.
Right. So I'm sure most of the people don't even know. And I think I found it really intriguing when I first heard about it. And yeah, and then so basically I was a science student in 11th and 12th. And when I shifted to commerce section, I was absolutely clueless. And because I was clueless, I had the thing in me to get to know more about what there was to it. And so I just enrolled myself in a lot of things and just kept trying out. And yeah, I'm in the marketing team of my college. And yeah, so we had like 20 teams. Recently we had a fest, so out of 20 teams I stood third. And that was really an amazing thing, because they kept saying, oh, you're a science student, how did you even do it? So I think it's that, because I was curious enough to explore new stuff. So I went into that. And the thing about social service, I think it all goes to my dad as well, because he's mostly into it. So I was just trying to follow that. And because I had nothing to do over the summer. So this one summer I was like, okay, I have nothing to do, why don't I just do this, help out people, it'll help them as well. And like, I'll feel like, okay, I've done something. So yeah.
So Anvita, tell me this, what I realized, you speak faster than me. Yeah, your rate of speech is faster than me. And I think it will also be because of the fact that we are speaking so fast, you're trying to match up those. Don't do that. You're best the way you are. Trust me about it. Because I think that raises a very interesting point. We all are, wanting to be the best versions of ourselves. I think that's exactly how you would look at life also, right? We're not competing with anybody. We are being the best version of ourselves every single day. Now tell me this, the sports which you are in, if you have to explain that to a 10-year-old child, because the audience right now is all about that. They're trying to figure out what is roller sports about, what is roller games all about, what does it take, what's the intensity all about. Explain that how you would explain to a 10-year-old child. How would you explain that to everybody?
So basically, I would tell that inline hockey is exactly like ice hockey, or even if not ice hockey, exactly like hockey as well. But our equipment is more similar to ice hockey, like our sticks, our helmets, the shin guard. We are almost as packed as the goalkeeper itself. And the thing that we use, so in hockey they use a ball, right? But we use a thing called a puck. I can actually show it to you right now. 1 second. Okay, so this is what we use. This is the puck. So this is what we use. And yeah. So basically in one team, there are 4 players and 1 goalkeeper, and the other team likewise. So there are 2 forwards, 1 defender and 1 middleman. And that's how the game goes. Just exactly like a hockey game, but with lesser players.
I think a bit like volleyball also, in a certain way.
Yeah, sort of.
Positioning, right?
Yeah, so we stand like in a Y shape. So 2 forwards, 1 center, 1 defense.
Okay. Yeah. And at what position do you play?
I play in the middle. I like to go both forward and defense depending on how strong my players are.
So I have to ask you this while Ginger or Jenny is barking in the background, because Jenny and Ginger want your attention. When you're playing a sports like this, it can be very, very combative, right? And I know you're somebody who doesn't give an inch on the field. I'm sure about that. If you play with you, will realize it. Have you had any instances where you've gone beyond the line and you realize that, boss, at the end of the day, it's just a game, right? Because passion rules when we play the game. Have you had a situation where you could rein in your temper and allow things to flow the way it is? Do you have any insight?
Okay, so basically this one time we had this match against China, I guess, and I was really pissed off by the way that those were playing. So we were playing against the seniors actually.
This was post-COVID or pre-COVID?
No, this is pre-COVID. I haven't gone abroad or
Okay,
post-COVID yet. So yeah, there was a match, and like she just came in front of our goalpost and she was about to take a try, and I just like rammed myself into her to prevent her from doing the goal. So yeah, it can be pretty aggressive, but I think that is also a way of showing our emotions. I mean,
Absolutely.
whatever we hold on to. So that's one way of channelizing it. And yeah, I mean, there's no like hard feelings. Of course, it's a game. It's a pretty violent game as well. Like, so if you get hit by a puck, they might actually die. So that's why we have so many protective gears, and yeah. So yeah.
Interesting. Very interesting. Yes, Samira.
So, tell us, it looks like you've had a very interesting life and, what's been happening. Can you share with us one of your most adventurous moments?
Adventurous moments in terms of hockey?
On the field or off the field?
Your life. Maybe the first time you started something, you didn't expect it to happen, and, whatever. Yeah.
Okay, so actually I wasn't like pretty confident when I went for Worlds itself. Like I thought, okay, I'll probably play in the second line or the second set of groups. But then because all the time that we were practicing, I just felt like I didn't believe in myself that I could actually be in the top four, the first four, the main players who are going to play. But then when we reached Barcelona, my coach was like, I'm like, are you sure you want to send me in the first one? And he's like, absolutely, I have no doubt. Okay. And that was like one of my happiest moments because I was absolutely not expecting it. So yeah, and also going with my friends for like the first time, abroad, and that was a pretty cool experience. And yeah,
that was ridiculous.
So it's like friends become family, then the team, because we do absolutely everything in the camp. We cook, and then we stay. We have to clean up the entire place. So yeah, it's like a small house for like those 3-4 months, and yeah.
What keeps you so motivated and driven, Anvita?
In terms of hockey, okay, so I just feel like I want to do everything. As I said, I feel like if I don't do something, then I feel like I'm not doing anything at all.
Okay.
So I think that is one driving reason that I have. That
I'm not talking about hockey. You've done so many other things in your life.
Yeah.
So tell us about everything else other than hockey for a change.
Okay, fine. So as I said, the marketing team, that was a really big step for me because I had absolutely not expected. And so I had my brother's wedding going that week, and it was pretty like hectic. So all the tasks that I did was not from home at all. And like, I feel like I worked the best because I was under pressure that so much was happening around me. And so as I said, I have this page on Instagram, you can check that out. It's called Radiant Bridge. That was when I had started my NGO thing. So we go to there's these 2 NGOs that we visited, Abhilashrayam and Sparsha Foundation. So we used to go there like each Sunday and like teach those kids English and personality development skills, and even on festivals. So basically educate them about how important festivals are, how they should be, and how is it celebrated, and otherwise how to present themselves when people come over, and contribute for them and like help them out. We also did like DIYs, best out of waste, and just utilizing all that they have to the fullest.
Nice.
That's very interesting. Very interesting. Anvita, tell me this. So you're doing a lot of things. You're doing sports. You have a business. You're doing. You're a part of an NGO. Now, some years down the line, I'm sure you will obviously have an autobiography. Autobiography ever happens. Visual thinking I'm talking about. What would it be called? Samira, this applies to you also. This question goes to you.
Okay. Probably the juggler, because I try to juggle a lot of things at the same time. Like I take up a lot of things, and I try my best to complete all of them as well. And to some extent I do, and I'm kind of proud of it. Like, I'm not like boasting or anything, but yeah. So I think that would be, I mean, if I had to think in an instant, otherwise I'd probably take a few days to think about it for sure.
Juggler, right? So we can call you the juggler. Samira, what about you?
Before I tell you, Shekhar, what would you call your autobiography? What would you name it?
I would say Living the Dream.
Wow.
Yeah, actually.
Okay. I think I would call mine My Experiments with Truth. Yeah, because sometimes, when you're so truthful and honest and fair in this world, that too can be an adventure sometimes.
Oh, yes, it can be. It can always be an adventure.
Yeah.
Anvita, I have to ask you this. You've got two dogs there, right? Jenny and Ginger. If if you had to ask your pet for a reference, what would your pet say?
I think that I'm a good, I don't know, hugger because I hug them a lot. I mean,
So they would give you a good reference. They would say that Anvita is a great hugger and she deserves what she gets.
yeah, I guess. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that would be pretty much about it. Otherwise, I mean, they sort of like run away from me. They like my parents more. So
They like your parents. So Samira, just to tell you, the Jenny and Ginger are two indies Anvita has adopted. Anvita and her
Oh.
family have adopted. So I
Wow.
had met them at an event at Taj. We had met them at reception, and they got the two dogs also for the reception. So they were in the car.
Wow.
And in between, they used to go out and check how they're doing. So I think that's a very nice thing which you did,
Amazing.
adopting
Amazing.
dogs, not just buying dogs, adopting dogs. Because we had Sudha Narayan who would come in on a show, in a first show, Sudha Narayan from Care, and they talk about adopting dogs and taking care of dogs, and it also drives a lot of empathy for all of us. I think
Yeah.
that's great what you're doing.
Hats off to you.
Yes, Amira.
So, Anvita, I really want to know, as a lady, as a young girl, we sometimes take it for granted that we have the whole world on our fingertips. Have you had any challenges, either personally, professionally, sometimes with your own parents or loved ones? Like, don't go out late in the night, don't practice so much,
Few
or
time
don't
now,
eat,
right? Yeah.
yeah.
well, not in terms of practice. I mean, yeah, my parents have been encouraged about that. I mean, they tell me, yeah, we should go for practice, and there's no problem in that. But yeah, I think that not going out late and stuff is just the protective version of them. So yeah, well, slowly we'll crack that up as well.
So do you agree to what they say, or do you have your own views?
I mean, it's fine. We come to a middle standpoint, so it works out in the end.
Great.
Amira is taking pointers from her family for her parents. Yeah.
Or for me to raise, because I have a daughter who's 15 years
Okay.
old, and it's also important to know the trends of today's parents and both sides of the coin.
I mean, they tell me to. I mean, they pretty much allow me to do everything I want as long as they know what I'm doing. They're cool with it. So
Okay.
Wonderful.
I think that's good. So Anvita, tell me this. You've been a player. You've done digital illustrations. You've got business. I'm sure you learned a lot about teamwork. And the reason why I'm talking about teamwork is in today's day and age, not many people believe in teamwork. Everybody believes in upmanship. Everybody believes in my way or the highway, right? And I think you're the best example because you are in a team, and you spoke about your family. You spoke about the things you do where you're going out together as a group. Now, how important is teamwork in today's day and age? Not just as a sports metaphor, but about how you look at life as a life skill. How would you think that would work?
okay, fine. So in terms of sports, obviously, like if all of us don't collaborate together, then it is definitely going to be a huge mess up. There's no doubt. And I think in life also it applies the same. Each of us, if we try to go individually, we'll think that whatever we are doing is correct and it is our own standpoint and we are going to be right no matter what. But the drawbacks are something that the team will see collaboratively. They will tell us, okay, these are the flaws in the plan. And then we can come up together with a solution that is more sustainable rather than having only one person's opinion. So I think we can make a more sustainable plan or a more sustainable lookout for a idea if we have more inputs in it. Or else like it can probably backfire if we have just individual views, because we might not see, like everyone has different experiences, right? So they can give in their experiences and talk about how this can go wrong in their sector if it were to be introduced. So yeah.
So going on that, Samira, if I may,
Yeah.
you're talking about teamwork. You must have had an instance where all of you in a team, where things would not have gone wrong, would not have gone right, and the coach would have come in and said, you know what, you girls not exhibiting teamwork. Did you have any
Yeah.
instances like that when you have played, and how did you guys overcome that? How did you girls overcome that?
Okay, I think so. Basically, he gave us first the liberty to try and test it out on ourselves. If we can work out the differences between us and try to go ahead as a team. And then when we don't do it, he says, okay, you can see it for yourself that this is not happening because you're not being cooperative with each other. And then I think post session, we just come together and have a casual discussion instead of being harsh, instead of doing the blame game. We try to like explain calmly as to how we could have done better. Because because then again, it'll be a loop, right? We keep blaming the others, they keep blaming us. And then it's neither we get the proper result, neither is it going to get resolved. And it's just going to mess with our heads. And we're anyway not going to do better in an individual performance as well.
Super.
So yeah, just a casual discussion later.
So very quickly, this is for both you and Samira. I'm going to ask you some questions, which is, when was the last time? Okay, so you got to be very quick and answer. When was the last time Anvita got angry?
Okay, I have to say, okay, the last time I got angry was, I think, about 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
Okay. Samira, when was the last time you got angry?
I think this morning.
Okay. Okay. Anvita, when was the last time you felt happy about something?
That was also 2 weeks ago. It was
Happiness and sadness goes side by side.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Samira, what about you? When was the last time you were happy about something?
Happy after talking to you this afternoon. How about you, Shekhar? I want to ask you as well.
When was the last time I was angry?
Yeah.
See, for me, anger is very, very momentary.
Okay.
Unfortunately, there's always a smile on my face. I know because my face is like that, because I cannot be angry for a long time. And if I'm angry, it's very, very sporadic. If I'm angry about something which is not right, and I'm very open about it. So I think the last time I got angry was somebody in the place where I'm staying in the gated community. Somebody had not allowed me inside the lift with my dog. And I really see if they do it to me, I won't mind, but you don't do it to animals. That's what I hate. So that's when I lost my temper, and I really had a tough time. But I came back very fast. Within 5 minutes, I realized that anger will not solve anything. But I did what I had to do, and I didn't feel bad about it, because there are no grudges in this world. And the last time I felt happy, I think I'm happy more often than not, because I think all of us talking on this forum itself for it, because I think we're all very, very blessed, very lucky in today's day and age, because of what's happened around us. Like, the pandemic has hit everybody in some form. And if we are all together on two legs, I think it's good for us. That's what I believe. So I think, happiness is a state of mind.
Good going. Great going, Shekhar. Shekhar, my next question now to both of you. You said you want to live the dream. What is the dream that you wish to leave, Anvita?
Okay, so I think, again, it comes up to being very basic, but yeah, I think happiness, being happy, as you said, like being happy is the most ultimate goal. Having good relations with other people, and not having any conflicts. I think that would be living the dream, along with, of course, like monetary benefits. That is a side goal, but yeah, being happy and like making others happy as well.
Great. And Shekhar,
living the dream is making an impact in doing what I do, because I know I'm very good at entertaining, engaging, motivating, and inspiring people. So that's something which I really look forward to at any given point of time. So if you wake me up at 3 o'clock in the morning, also I'll be out there with full on energy to motivate and inspire everyone around me. For me, that is living the dream, because I genuinely believe I have no regrets about what I've done in life, and I've loved this moment when we are talking, or when we are motivating, when we are doing or engaging people on and off stage, or doing what we like. So I think for me, that's the dream. There are no half measures. It's just full on.
Wow, that's beautiful. What about you? I think that's how we should live our lives. Yeah.
Samira, what about you?
I want to live for the present. I don't want to worry about tomorrow. And as long as I know that I'm consciously living today to the best of my abilities, I think that's me living my dream at the moment. Yeah.
Just like the fan in the background. Huh?
Yeah.
The fan is just doing what it
and on and on, tirelessly. Yeah.
So, Anvita, obviously you've been to Barcelona, you've traveled around the world, you've seen different customs, different cultures. You've seen people around you, right? You've seen how people look at India and how Indians look at others. What has been your biggest learning for you, or something which you have learned or unlearned when you've traveled so much around the world?
Okay, so in India, we seem to care a lot about what others are doing, and that's I think that's a very prominent difference. Like there, they do not seem to care about what the other person is doing, and I think minding our own business is really important because it helps others also let in peace, live in peace, and like why should we take the burden of thinking of what others are doing, right? So yeah, it's unnecessary pressure for us, unnecessary pressure for them. So I think yeah, just giving them the liberty to do what they should do.
Nice, very interesting. Samira, what about you? So Amrita, just to let you know, Samira spent a lot of time overseas. She's worked in various companies. She's been a trendsetter in more ways than one. I'm not saying that because she's a co-host, but she's a good friend, and she's been a role model for a lot of people. She's won awards. She's won the Nirbhaya Award, and off late she's won a lot of awards in various fields, various opportunities. And it goes without saying that she is somebody who's seen a bit of the world, and she's been in Dubai, been in Muscat, and now she's in India. Samir, I have to ask you this question. You've been overseas, you're now in India, and we don't know how the future holds for you because you're right now living in the present as the fan. So, how has it been for you? And this entire Indian experience, entire overseas experience, how's it been?
I agree with what Anvita said. And, here people are so, they have their eyes on you and they just want to know what you're doing. And I think that itself is, to some extent, I don't know whether it's a herd mentality or self-defeating, but I think it just, diminishes creativity. It does not broaden horizons.
Absolutely.
I would ideally like to live in a world just like you, Shaker, where sky is the limit, where sunshine is somewhere and something that you can enjoy life and bask in glory with, and that you do your own thing at the end of the day, irrespective of what, right from your neighbors to the world feels about you. And I think that is what we all should do our own thing. It's okay if we fail. It's okay if we fall down.
Absolutely.
And it's okay if we succeed. It's okay if we win those awards. It's okay if we stand on that stage smiling, if that's the only thing that we do in our lives. It's okay if we have fame and fortune. But let's just be ourselves in every single way. And I think, Shaker, for me, I feel you do it to quite an extent. You do your own thing. And I think that is a great role model for others to follow, especially the younger generation. For example, I would love my children to hang around you and learn from you, because I think that is what is needed. Remove that bias, remove the perception. It's okay. It's okay to cheat. It's okay to jump around. It's okay to fall, but just do your own thing. And I think that's what I want to really see in an India that I call my home and country.
Thank you, Samira. Anvita, you must have noticed by now that Samira is a voracious reader, voracious writer, and she's a poet also at heart. She's also written 2 books, by the way, during the law.
Oh, wow, so, that's nice.
Yeah. So she's very good at execution. This is how I'm introducing her throughout the show. So
sweet. So sweet of you, Shaker.
Really nice to hear.
Very, very interesting. Very interesting. Now, Anvita, we heard your aspirations. We heard what you do as a sportswoman. Now, if you're the CEO of a company, you are all, as it is the CEO, I'm sure, what would you make compulsory in your office? And one thing you would not want to have at all in the office. This applies to both of you, because I think both of you are CEOs in more ways than one. One thing you would want to ban, and one thing you would say, I need to have this in my office. This has to happen.
Okay, one thing I'd ban is negative criticism. I think it should always be positive or constructive at the most, not negative, because that demotivates, and the demotivation is not costing only the employee, it's also costing my company. So yeah, that could be something that I'd like to eradicate. And something that I would definitely implement is that everyone removes some part of their time or spend some part of the focusing on themselves and how they can help again the society, because we're getting so much from the society. In the end, we are also going to be providing for the society, so that should be something we inculcate. Yeah,
I love that spirit. Samira, what about you?
I think I would want to have a gratitude wall where people just kind of come and scribble at least something every day when they come in as to what are they thankful for. And also another wall before they leave the office, to say how have they, paid it forward. It could be a compliment, it could be, even a thought, a good thought. But I want these two worlds. You come in with gratitude and you move out with paying it forward, because that would inculcate a spirit of positivity, giving, selflessness, and showing that we are here in this world for a bigger purpose than just ourselves. Take her over to you. I would like to ask you the same question.
So I think I would want people to come in with a smile. The smile has to be there. And
Yeah,
something which I would want to ban is not sulking. Yeah,
and
because I think your face belies your emotions, I believe, right? So someday it should reflect on your face. However good or bad an actor or actress may be, it'll reflect on your face. So if you don't smile, you're not welcome in my office. That's
sure.
for sure. Uh,
Excellent.
Superb. Yeah, Samira, over to you.
So, Anvita, let me ask you, what has really, you've accomplished so much in your life. What has really inspired you to do what you do? Is it yourself? Is it people around you? Or is it something in your DNA just that says, let me just try it out and see if I can go ahead with it?
I think it's, yeah, as you said, the people around me and the people that I meet, how they tell me about their experiences. I feel like, okay, what is the harm in trying out new stuff? So yeah, that has definitely been an inspiration that if they can do it, I'm probably sure that even I can do it. Or if not, like succeed in it, but at least give it a try and give it my shot and not have any regrets later on saying that, okay, this is something that I could have tried, but I haven't done it. And yeah.
I think that spirit
Fantastic.
is very infectious, very, very can do. That's what we like about you, Anvita. Anvita, tell me this. Now we're talking about spirit and we're talking about something which is really important, which is food, right?
Yeah.
And you're at an age where you want to eat anything and everything you see, of course, because food is tasty, right? And the junk foods of the world, the pizzas of the world, the biryanis of the world, and I'm sure you don't like curd rice as much as anybody else would. But tell me this: you have to eat some kind of healthy food to stay in shape, right? Because you're an athlete, and you got to pick up your fight also when you need to with the Chinese athletes. That is now. What foods did you have to give up when you were in training?
Okay, so I think rice, sort of, to some extent. And yeah, rice and chapati, like replace it with like like whole wheat, like replace it with like oats or ragi and jowar and stuff like that. That would be something. Otherwise, we were actually encouraged to eat like carbs, but like not like fatty carbs. So yeah, just to like help build like include more protein, of course.
Include more proteins. Yeah, the reason I'm asking this, we also had fitness experts who had come on a show earlier, and they had told us a lot of things, but you made it so simple, right? In terms of what is important, what is not important. So somewhere being simple is also an art, I believe, right? Samira, what do you think?
So true. I think
Food doesn't
simplicity.
have, yeah, food
Yeah.
doesn't have to be complex. I think we complicate it too much by thinking too much into it. And we just keep it simple, not add too much like, keto. And I mean, if you just follow what you have and not try to complicate it, that in itself will be good for your body because it at least understands what you're eating. Otherwise, then even it'll be like, it will have a big question mark as to what is happening. It's very new for me. And yeah.
So now what we
Anvita,
want to do
what
is,
is,
yeah,
yeah,
Samira, go on, continue.
sorry,
No,
Shekhar.
no, it's okay, continue.
I'm really keen to know if you had to, share a strong message of your knowledge through experience to your own generation. What are some of the do's and don'ts that
Yeah,
you would tell them?
and Anvita, use it like the power of three.
Yeah,
So three things which you think will is very important for this generation, because this generation, what we talk, your generation, has a generation which has a lot of energy,
yeah,
right? And you have a lot of energy, which goes without saying, because of which you're speaking fast and your ideas and thoughts also working fast. But this energy can be misplaced very quickly, right? So how do
correct.
we translate that energy into positive energy into execution mode? So three things you think which children of your age group should know, which everybody should know, not just of your age group. I think everybody's dealing with this scenario right now.
Yeah, I think they should definitely wait for results because I agree, including me, we have sort of lost patience for anything to happen, be it in terms of a food order or being in terms of seeing results in our marks or in terms of anything. I think keeping patience and waiting for it to happen and not giving up immediately when we don't see results is one thing that we should focus on. Because then we think that, okay, this is not working out, we'll move on to the next idea. Yes, you can definitely move on, but not until you're absolutely exhausted with your first idea. Because of the reason you would have taken up the first idea is because you would have believed in it, and they sort of forget why they actually put in work for that. So that would be one, patience. And I think being considerate. People have started taking everything for granted, and okay, we are getting this, okay, so like we don't have to put in a lot of hard work, and they just leave it up to fate for things to happen. But the repercussions won't be seen now, it'll definitely be seen in future. So that is the hard work aspect. And yeah, not taking things for granted, definitely, because I myself would have taken things for granted at some point of time, and that is something which is not probably won't be good for me in the long run. So yeah. And then third,
I think you spoke three things, and I think it makes a lot of sense, which is perfect, because you hit the nail on the head. Now, when you spoke about patience, you spoke about the other two things. We're going to get somebody really interesting to join you on the show. We're going to get your father to verify whether what he said in the last 40 minutes was true or not. Sanjay ji, could you just join us on the show? If you could come on video. I think your father's listening in, na? I can see that. Sanjay sir, I feel like I'm on the KBC seat or something. Amitabh Bachchan calling out the audience participants. Samira, what do you think?
Yeah, definitely. Same here. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Sir, please join us on video.
Yeah, actually, I'm outside, so I was listening.
No problem. No problem. So, Samira, that's Sanjay. Sanjay, that's Samira.
Hi, Sanjay. Good to connect with you.
Hi, Samira. Hi.
Congratulations. You have an amazing daughter to start with.
Yeah,
and that talks a lot about you parents as well. Yeah.
Yes, thanks. Yeah. I mean, Anvita has actually lived up to beyond my expectations. And most of the things that she has said, she's been following. 1 minute, I'll go a little further. I feel a lot of noise.
See, we are doing live shows also, Samira. We are in the greenery.
Awesome.
Should ask your father which part of Bangalore is he in?
You rephrase the question, Shekhar.
So yeah, Samira, you want to pose the question?
I think you've been quite a great inspiration for your daughter to, actually have abundant success and also a drive in everything that she does. Can you tell us, what has kept you all guided to inspire her, to shape her to who she is today?
Yeah. See, for that, somewhere in the question, it mentioned that the genes have to be there. My dad was a sportsman, okay, and he played for Karnataka hockey, is what I understand. And I myself am a badminton player. I went up to university level, and I was a 4-district champion. But unfortunately, those times, that was somewhere in the 80s. Probably you were all not born then. So those times, sports was not at all a big career that time. So unfortunately, although my dad gave me everything, but the kind of backing was not there. So I am actually living my dream through my daughter, and that's the biggest inspiration that I gave her, and she took it positively. We always try to we expect our children to be something, but if they are not receptive, then nothing can be done. But she was very receptive. She took it all very positively, and she has lived my dream. So that has been the biggest inspiration.
That's a blessing as well.
Absolutely.
So Sanjay Saab and Anvita, so Anvita, there must be a movie which you like a sports movie which your father likes. Let's see how well you know your father, right? Let's put this thing on you. Let's see. Which is and your father will verify it, okay? Father should be very frank and true about it. He should not make sure the daughter's winning because of this. Which is your father's favorite film?
In terms of sports, Dangal.
Dangal.
Definitely.
Who's your father's favorite actress?
Actress, I think Madhuri Dixit.
And
Probably.
favorite actor?
Favorite actor, Rajkumar.
Rajkumar. Okay. Which is your father's favorite city?
City, I think he loves Belgaum a lot.
Loves Belgaum instead of Bangalore. Okay, he loves
Yeah.
Belgaum. And what makes your father angry? If
Oh.
he is angry, that is.
Not having things done his way.
Not having things done his way. The daughter knows the father well. And what makes your father happy?
Again, having things done his way. And I think, yeah, my dogs make him happy a lot.
So I have to ask you this $1 million question. Who does he like more, Jenny or Ginger?
I think he used to like Jenny, but like since Ginger has come and she's like the smaller dog, so I think it's split equally now.
Okay. And tell me this, both you and your father make a great pair, I'm sure. Sure, you team up very well. I'm sure about this, Samira. Tell me this, has there been an instance where both of you have teamed up, Anvita, you and your father, and done something really outrageous as a team?
Okay, so we
like raiding the refrigerator in the night, going out for doing something really crazy. Have you done something like that?
Yeah, so we went for treks simultaneously 3 weekends right after my exams, and like even though I felt like I got stung by the bee, it did not matter. We still just kept going, and that was really something else. So yeah.
Samira, what about you with your parents?
Yeah, I've done a lot of things with them, but Anvita, I would like to ask you, what are the 3 words that you would say to describe your parents?
Yeah.
Supportive would be, because as I hear, a lot of parents aren't supportive, and I think I'm really grateful in that aspect that they're supportive of like almost everything that I do. Even when I wanted to shift from science to commerce, they were like, yeah, take it up, you can do whatever you want, whatever you feel comfortable in. So supportive and encouraging, that would be second. And yeah, third is that they like all of the attention is on me again, because I'm a single child, so there's never any lack of that.
Well, what is the one thing that you would like your parents to do for you or be?
Well,
1 or 3 things.
Yeah. I don't want to put them under pressure.
Pressure on the parents, not on her. Poor things.
Okay, one thing that I would like them to do a little more, like, not be so scared for me, to let me explore a little more in life in terms of like the fun aspect or like adulting aspect. I mean, in terms of sports and education, of course, they let me do whatever I want, but also in terms of the fun. Yeah, I mean, because they're very insecure, like, in case, oh, what will happen? And yeah, I mean, it's of course there for every parent, no doubt. I need to understand from their point of view as well. But yeah, from a child's point of view.
And Anvita, is there a song which all of you sing together, you and your family? I know you're quite a fun-loving bunch. Is there a song which all of you sing together, whether in a nice way or in a wrong way, or because everybody's not a born singer? I know Samira is a great singer, but I'm saying song. I am a bathroom singer, which goes without saying. So tell me this: is there a song which all of you sing?
No, not a song as such, but we really enjoy the radio that plays during the car when we go on trips. So like we all like collaboratively mock the joke that is happening on radio or stuff. So
okay, Samira, what about you?
Yeah, I love to sing. I listen to music when gymming. So I went driving. It's kind of part of my life. I like it. Shekhar, how about you?
So if you so there's one song which we all believe in, which is called the song "We Are the Champions."
Oh, lovely.
This is by the group called Queen, and We Are the Champions. And I feel that's what epitomizes all of us in this particular session right now, because I think we are all champions in our own way, and we have no time for losers, because we are on a journey, which is the path of success and path of winning. And I think that's really important. That mindset is very important.
Yeah, so true.
Anvita, your favorite sports movie?
My favorite sports movie, I think I like Chak De India a lot.
Samira, your favorite sports movie?
Sports movie, many actually. I don't have a specific one.
Okay.
But I'm open. How about you, Shekhar?
I like this movie called Remember the Titans.
Oh, okay.
It had this very handsome actor called Denzel Washington, who's got a wonderful style. I feel is quite good looking. and he was a football coach, and he was a coach for both the blacks and the whites, and he had to get them to think together. And he took them to a historical place and told of the history of the place and said why it's so important. And very interesting coach how he took them on. And I think this movie is if you get a chance, watch this movie. Remember the Titans because it's very symbolic. And of course, in Hindi, it's Chak De India, which Shah Rukh Khan did, which was, I think, he played it very well. That's something he should play more often than not. Sameera, I know for a fact that you're very disciplined, you're very systematic as compared to a lot of other people around you. I'm sure you would make a great sports person also if you try sports anytime in the future. Now, according to you and according to Anvita, both of you, what does it take to have that kind of discipline? What does it take to have that kind of intensity in life?
Anvita, let's start with you.
Okay, yeah. So I believe that the term motivation, it does not come from within, honestly. Like it doesn't, even if others tell you, oh, you have to be motivated. I think it's again more about discipline. Like you have to push yourself forward no matter what, even if it's a bad day, even if it's a good day, because you're not looking again at short-term goals, like you're looking at long-term goals. And for that, you have to be disciplined. You have to wake up no matter what, you have to do the grind. And yeah, I think the fact that I don't want to see myself losing in future is what makes me disciplined to be disciplined now.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Interesting.
And I think for me, it is more of a growth mindset, to grow, to let others grow, and to grow collectively together. Sometimes in life, we are all into a competitive spirit, and we all want to win. But I think maturity is when we allow others to win equally well. If we have felt that we are able to quench our thirst, help others quench their thirst too.
Correct.
No harm in giving them that beautiful opportunity, so that they can shine as well. And I think that for me is a measure of success. How about you, Shekhar?
So, I believe it boils down to three things. And I've realized this over a period of time in the last 1-2 years, when, because of the pandemic. There are three things. I think those are the three C's. For me, it's collaborate, co-create, and culture. And all three are interlinked with each other. If the culture is not there, you cannot collaborate. You cannot co-create. You cannot create. If you cannot create, all three are like the circle of influence, they say, or the circle of control. If one is not there, the other two boxes will never join, because I think we're living in a world where we cannot work independently, however smart we are, because we have to collaborate, and we have to learn that from the animals around us. When you actually watch the animal kingdom, you realize it's not the tigers and the lions which rule it. There are the elephants, there are the tigers and lions. They all work with each other, even though they could be somebody else's prey the next day. So, so I've realized this, during this pandemic, because we have seen so much of things happening around us, and of these conversations we've had with Anvita, it's been very interesting, where we learn and unlearn so much. So I think collaboration, co-creation, and culture is going to be the most important tool going forward for anyone.
Well said. Well said. Yeah. Anvita, we would like you to do something that you haven't done before.
Sing a song.
Yeah.
No, I know what Sameera is going to say. I can read Sameera's mind.
Really? I'm just going to let you do something. Anvita, think that, we had suddenly pushed you to a big stage, like the Oscar Awards. Yeah. And there was like a break in between. And we just pushed you on that stage. You are looking dazzling, beautiful, in your best. What would you do for us on that stage, thinking it's the Oscar?
And the
Oscar goes to Anvita Belwal.
Okay, well, I think I'd organize a little game. Not really sure. Well, I really can't sing. I know how to dance a little, but I have been a little off track so recently.
Okay.
You could show them that ball and say it's just come from outer space.
Yeah, I could make up some theory about this.
Yeah,
definitely.
The ball.
Like, yeah, you've never seen this before, right? Like, I take in guesses and probably do that.
Yeah, and then your 90 seconds get over, and then the music plays.
Yeah.
Superb. Anvita, you've been very sporting. It's been so nice talking to you. I'm sure I'm speaking for Sameera and myself both. I think we had a lovely time. chatting with you, talking to you, learning so much from you. Not unlearning anything at all, because I think there's so much to pick up from you. I for one love your energy. I love your passion. I love your intensity. I love the fact that you were able to keep pace with us, because we are extremely fast. I speak really fast, but you were able to keep pace and even outshine us at times. And it goes without saying that with this kind of intensity, with this kind of energy, with this kind of acumen, you will only go places, right? And with this kind of balance, which I see that in your father, I see that in you, and your father is very supportive, and we all need support at times, right? Because when we fall, there should be somebody who can take care of us. I think even if you fall tomorrow, even if you fail tomorrow, and God forbid you should not fail, even if you fail tomorrow, you have the ability to get up and rise again like a phoenix. I'm sure that's going to happen with you sooner or later, and that's my pitch as a coach. I'm just
Thank you.
I'm
Thank
just
you so
like-
much. It's such a great opportunity to be on this show. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much for calling me upon.
But we always wanted, I for one, I told Samira too that, we have this fireside chat, and we get, people of all, we get basically leaders and achievers. I said, why not get somebody who's young? Because, and you've done so much. And, you can be an inspiration for not just people of your generation, but of future generations and the past generations, because it's all about the mindset, I believe. And that's what both Samira and myself believe. And it's great talking to you.
We are truly inspired by all that you do, Anvita, and on behalf of the S Factor and all of us here, along with News Karnataka, which is live streams this, we wish you all the very best. Keep doing what you're doing to your best possible extent. Keep shining, and we look forward to hearing a lot from you and inspiring the world around us.
And before you leave, one word to describe the S Factor, or one sentence, or one paragraph, or one story.
Absolutely energetic. I mean, there was so much energy. I mean, I haven't seen any host this happy about having a contestant, because the most that I have been on has been very like interview type and very dull. And I'm really happy to be here. So yeah, energetic would be the word.
I think that's a USP, Samira. We don't come prepared.
Yeah. Lovely. Thank you, Anvita, and to your dad as well, Mr. Sanjay, for being with us today, and all the lovely viewers on the show, online, live streaming as well. On behalf of the S Factor episode 19, we wish you all the best.
So we can, Samira, before we leave, we can actually do one sign which symbolizes winning. Anvita, you want to take the lead? Show us a sign which you do when you score a goal, or when you do something in the field of sport. Something which is, show us a sign like this. Like
sign
this,
that we do.
We
We
follow
usually tap our sticks together. So basically, instead of a high five, because we have gloves holding on, we usually tap our sticks together. Yeah, like this. So
like
we
this.
have
All
our
right, we'll
sticks
do
like
this. Yeah.
Yeah, we can do this.
Yeah. Super. Somebody was supposed to take a picture of this. Okay.
Cheers, and we wish you all the best.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shekhar, and thank you, Samira.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Anvita.
Thank you, Sanjay. Yeah.